This project has the potential to completely transform the DeFi space. It's called Hashflow, and in this video we're gonna look into its fundamentals. I'm gonna tell you what exactly I like about it, what I'm really concerned about. We're gonna do some price prediction, and I'm gonna tell you what I'm planning to do with it, if I'm gonna trade it, hold it, or completely forget about it. Let's jump right into it. In order to better understand why Hashflow might be a game changer, I want to give you an example from the real life first. Whenever you travel abroad and you go to an ATM and you want to withdraw cash, it will withdraw cash from the local currency of the country, and it doesn't matter what your bank account is, where your bank account is, so which is your bank, what currency your account is in, and also what is your card, if it's a credit or a debit, or if it's a Visa or MasterCard. It doesn't matter what happens in the background. What is most important for you is that you will get the currency that you need right now at the ATM, and everything that's happening in the background is something that you really don't care. And this is the way it should become also for DeFi and for crypto overall, in order for everyone to start adopting it and to get to the next level of adoption in general. Right now we are just crypto degenerates that are really in love with crypto, especially with DeFi space. However, in order to move to the next level, we're gonna need those improvements to the user experience and the overall mechanics for us to see another leg of exponential growth. And that's one of the main things that Hashflow is trying to do, is to really simplify everything that's going on in the background for the user and make it as simple as possible for the user. And I want to give you another example. What is the current DeFi space, and more specifically how decentralized exchanges operate. So let's jump into Uniswap right here, and you'll see that you can pretty much swap tokens on a specific network. So right now we're at Ethereum. You can go to Polygon or Arbitrum or whatever, and you can swap tokens within this network. And what Hashflow is trying to do on their decentralized exchange is to be able to swap tokens between networks. So for example, here on the Hashflow trading platform, I'm on the Ethereum network currently, and I should be able to switch Ethereum tokens to, let's say, Polygon or Avalanche or any other network out there. This is extremely powerful, and I think it's currently the unique selling point of Hashflow. You might ask yourself how exactly they're achieving this, and actually it's very simple. Let me try and draw it for you with my very sophisticated drawing skills. So if you have Ethereum here on your wallet and you want to move it to another layer, let's say to Arbitrum. And on Arbitrum, you want to buy, let's say, USDT. In order for this transaction to happen, first you need to go to a bridge. So a bridge looks like this, and every network has its separate bridge. Also, MetaMask is currently launching their own bridge where they have a few more networks where you can swap in between those networks. So first you need to transfer your Ethereum to the network that you want to move the assets to, and then once you have moved them to Arbitrum, you need to go on a decentralized exchange that has Arbitrum, like Uniswap for example, and then transfer the tokens into USDT. However, if we use Hashflow in the same example, it does it right away on the spot on their platform, and they're able to do this because they are sending all the transactions off-chain, and they have liquidity providers off-chain, which guarantees a couple of things. First of all, there's no slippage, so pretty much the price that you're gonna see, it will be the price that you're going to be receiving. And also it allows them for this cross-bridge trading pretty much, which makes the life of traders extremely easy. And if we go back to the example with the credit or debit card, this is pretty much the first step. It's like having several accounts with one bank, and there may be different currencies within those accounts, but very easily you can swap dollars for euros, for example, and back and forth between your accounts. and it's a very seamless process for you, and you don't even think about it. But in crypto, it's not like that right now. We are thinking really about it when we want to move to another bridge or another network. Of course, this is just the first step from the whole process, but I think it's the crucial one to bring more users on the DeFi space. And that's pretty much Hashflow. Now, there are a few things that I really like this project, and we already touched upon a couple of those. The first one is that you have pretty much zero fees and zero slippage whenever you're trying to do swaps on their platform. And on top of this, they have added a new feature, which is trading rewards. So pretty much every single time you're trading on their platform and swapping between networks, you're getting Hashflow rewards. So this is their Hashflow token, and you will receive the rewards depending on the volume that you're generating. The second major benefit is that you're not using bridges like the one I showed you here on Arbitrum. Historically, bridges have been a security drawback and reasons for quite a lot of hacks that have happened in the past. And I think this is just another step in the process that if we can avoid and actually remove altogether from the process of switching assets, that will be just great. And probably more and more platforms will start adopting this. Like for example, MetaMask. You can see here it's called a bridge, and they're using bridge to do the swaps, but at least they have several different bridges on the same platform. And Hashflow takes this a step further and brings all the transactions offline. And if they're able to get a lot of liquidity providers, because imagine you have a pool of tokens on, let's say, the BNB network, and then you have a pool of tokens on the Avalanche network. So you have to have liquidity on all the different chains, on all the different tokens, to have a really good service on Hashflow. And that's actually one of the drawbacks that we're going to talk also in the other section. But in theory, if they manage to pull this out, I think it will be very significant win for them. Also, something very important to mention as a pro is that Hashflow got listed right away on many different exchanges. Usually that's not the case. Usually tokens get listed on Binance, on Gate.io, and some other shady exchanges. And then with time and with volume, at some point, they might get listed to exchanges like Kraken, Coinbase, and FTX in the past, but not anymore. This wasn't the case with Hashflow. They got listed pretty much on all the major exchanges. Here you can see Binance with obviously the massive volume. Then you have Coinbase, then you have KuCoin, Kraken, Polo also have them. Pretty much extremely good exchange diversification, and that is very important when we're talking about new projects. This means that these exchanges are behind this project. And actually with Hashflow, I know that Coinbase and Kraken specifically have invested in their first seed round of investment, so they have interest obviously to have the token on their exchanges. But this also is a good sign that they have seen something positive in this project and that they want to invest in it potentially, obviously, to make money. And that brings me to another reason that I really like this project, and I think one of the main reasons that probably the big boys invested in it is that they have a pretty good community with quite a lot of updates regularly. They're very transparent. The founders have regular AMAs, also even like different interviews with different people from the space like we have right now. Tomorrow, from the day of shooting of this video, we have another AMA here on their Discord, and they really answer questions and they show developments, and I think that's very important. And while I was researching this token, actually before that we didn't have these trading rewards, and I'm gonna show you some screenshots later in the video, but now they have implemented it and it seems to be running smoothly. So that's always a good sign that they're developing and they're implementing new features, and something that I'm personally always looking into when I'm looking into new projects. They also provide regular updates for the community in the form of Hashbeats, and this is their issue 7. But pretty much you can see what they have been doing recently. And one of the main things that I also wanted to point out as a pro is that they were one of the major platforms with the most volume on the Avalanche network. Here you can see the split between the networks, and obviously Ethereum has the majority, but close second is Avalanche. And actually you can see here the jump in the volume of Avalanche. This was right next to Trader Joe as the main Avalanche trading selling volume for the past month. So definitely this is a good sign. Definitely means that the team has been working non-stop to deliver more and more liquidity and obviously to bring more and more people on board. I really like these kind of short of updates. I'm gonna leave the link to this one in the video below if you want to look into it, and I'm also gonna leave down all the resources that have been used for this video and pretty much my small summary. So if you prefer to just read it, go through the description down below, and of course don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy this type of content and if you want to see other tokens that I will be looking into and I believe that have quite a bright future ahead of them. So these were pretty much all the things that I like about this project. Let's jump into the things that I really don't like, and I have a few concerns that I think can really put this project back. And the first two I think are quite significant. If you have seen any of my previous videos, you know that when I'm researching a token, I'm always very strict when it comes to tokenomics and also when it comes to user growth and volume growth and in general adoption growth. And this is the couple of major issues that I have with Hashflow. If we see here on their white paper the allocation of the token, you'll see that the team in the beginning is receiving 20% of the tokens, and then early investors are receiving 25% of the total supply. The good part is that the supply is fixed, it's 1 billion tokens. However, almost 45% of the entire supply is dedicated to early investors and the core team. And keep in mind that early investors, especially the first round, which was around 16% of the overall supply, they got into the token at 2 cents per token. For comparison, the current price of the token is around 50 cents. So they're in deep profit. And also obviously the core team hasn't really paid anything for it. So with just 1 year for vesting for those couple of groups, this means there will be a lot of selling pressure in the future. And in general, I really don't like whenever the team is dedicating more than 10% to themselves, and this is the case with Hashflow. And the second major issue that I have for the token itself is that it's mainly a governance token. Yes, people that hold it will be able to vote for different stuff and blah blah blah, but this is really no significant utility for the token. Other platforms like for example GMX have staking and they distribute the fees from the platform. Other platforms that we are going to look into in the future have the opportunity to pay fees in their own token, which is the greatest utility pretty much of them all. And Hashflow is mainly a governance token, which in my opinion is not great of a value for a token, and in the long term these kind of tokens tend to fall apart or at least not have the widest spread adoption that they could have. They're trying to innovate with the community and use the Hashflow tokens for kind of like gamifying the whole space with some kind of NFTs and Hashverse rewards, and if people are engaging with it and being active when there's voting and proposals and so on. But still, I think this is just dust thrown in your face, and I really think they need to think about a better utility for this token. Like for example, the trading rewards that they implemented. I think this is a great start. However, this is also selling pressure, keep this in mind. So if I'm trading here and I don't really believe on the platform, probably I'll be selling these tokens. I'm not gonna be holding them because I really believe in the project. However, if they have some kind of burning mechanism or locking mechanism or whatever they might come into in the future, I think that will be great. However, they don't have it right now. Another thing that the project doesn't have is user growth, and let me just show you this dashboard. Right now the volume, the 24-hour volume is around $45 million, which is actually quite significant. And here you can see the split between different chains, with the main one obviously Ethereum and Avalanche, and it's actually a split with Binance Smart Chain here with Avalanche for the second place. However, if we scroll a little bit further down, you'll see that for the past month the volume has pretty much been flat. Although this is a new project, there's been a lot of hype around it. You see that there is no volume increase like for example what we saw with GMX. GMX has constant volume increase for the past 6 months or so. And if you have missed my review on GMX, make sure to watch it. It will be on my channel. And also the second really big concern here is that we have the number of trades and the active users significantly going down. There's a spike here just a few days ago. However, I don't think that's significant to give me more confidence that the platform is growing when it comes to users. I couldn't find the data for previous months, so this is pretty much just for the last month, and maybe it will show like a growth period. I don't know, but I'm gonna track this definitely in the future, and I'm gonna look for spikes in volume and also in active users. One of the main things why this might be happening is actually another issue that I have with the platform, and that's one when I was trying to swap between different networks, the platform wasn't actually active. Here I'm on Ethereum, and if I try to swap, let's say to Avalanche or BNB or Polygon, it is not allowing me to do so. And I asked in the community, why is this so? I can actually show you a screenshot from the response. And here you see that it's not enabled yet on many pairs, which means they don't have the liquidity right now on that many different pairs. Okay, on one side, they're a new project and that is to be expected, but I would want to see this in the future. And I think this will be really a make or break moment for them, because if they're promising all the great things, but they cannot deliver, I think this project won't survive that long. And one of the reasons that they point out is the collapse of FTX, because they were looking for liquidity providers there. But this could be just an excuse. I don't know what's happening there. There's no clear information, obviously, what's going on in the background. For me, the most important metric that I will be watching here is to see if I'm able to swap across different chains. And another screenshot that I took is that I wasn't able to swap even simple things like Ethereum to USDT. Currently, at the shooting of this video, I didn't have an issue, but just a week ago, you'll be able to see here on this screenshot that I wasn't able to have this swap because there are not enough market makers and there were not enough liquidity for this swap. And this is pretty much the most basic swap that a platform needs to be able to execute. Ethereum to USD on an Ethereum blockchain. That's it. It doesn't get simpler than that. And if you're failing to execute this, definitely, again, this is a very red flag for me. And when it comes to their feeless structure and the best prices that they can offer, that's also something that I haven't really seen to be that great of an advantage. And let's just use the example and compare this with Uniswap. Here I have 0.3 Ethereum, and if I want to swap it to USDT, the current rate that it's giving me is 348 USDT for the amount of Ethereum. And if I jump into Uniswap and I try to do exactly the same, you'll see that I will have pretty much the same value here. So exactly the same amount of USDT I'm going to receive it, and also the gas price will be pretty much the same. Here will be $2.5 and here will be 1.8. So even Uniswap currently is a little bit cheaper. So if you're an OG in the space and you're used to Uniswap and it has been proven through the times, maybe you're not going to want to use Hashflow since they're not having that much liquidity between chains, and just for the simple swaps, Uniswap pretty much has the same exact rate. So with all of that said, and before we do some price prediction, what exactly am I planning to do with this one? Definitely it's an interesting project, and I think they have a lot going on for them. And if they're able to execute and definitely bring more and more users and liquidity to the platform, I think Hashflow has a lot of potential. I'm definitely not going to forget about it, but I'm also not going to be accumulating it like other tokens that I have much more trust in. This is in the trade basket for me. And if we look at the chart, you'll see that we don't have that much price history right now, but price is quite stable around this area. And if we're able to put some kind of an accumulation here while they're delivering something on the background and provide liquidity, if we see a breakout pattern right here, I'm definitely going to be looking into it just because of the good diversification and really the idea behind this and the narrative that is playing out right now with the decentralized exchanges. I think this could catch some legs, and how far it could reach, we first need to look at the market cap, and here you can see on CoinGecko we have about 100 million of market cap with the fully diluted at 560. I think the fully diluted one is what is really bothering me. Something like GMX, for example, which has a lot more functionality and a lot more utility, has fully diluted market cap of around $700 million. So I'm not sure that Hashflow is on par with that, and that's what really concerning, because after just 1 year there will be significant unlocks of tokens, and that will cause a lot of selling pressure. However, within this year, if they're able to deliver and we see the user growth really spike, this $100 million of market cap can significantly increase, and realistically I can see it double or tripling from here, at least as a first target, because if we have a good consolidation here and a potential breakout, a double or triple from here is around $1.80 to $2, and I think that's quite realistic even in the current market conditions. Obviously, if we go into a full-blown bull market and everyone's looking for the next 100x token, this could really skyrocket. That's everything for this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe. If you have any questions related to Hashflow or to any of the other projects that I've been looking into, make sure you post them down below, and I'll see you in the next one.